Okay, I'll watch it. If you don't know, I have been on a journey with Firefly. I made a video about how nobody likes the movie, got a ton of backlash, and then made a video about the backlash. And I was so surprised how many people loved Serenity, even more than Firefly. Now, I grew up watching Firefly, and I watched the movie a little bit later in my life and didn't like it. But it got me thinking, have I just been conditioned not to like this film? So I decided to go back and give Serenity a fresh set of eyes and rewatch it for the first time in a really long time. Spoilers ahead. All right, my phone is away. I'm taking my watch off so I'm not distracted at all. Here we go, watching Serenity for the first time in like 7 years. Let there be light, they said, right? You know, something that obviously I know is, I'm judging this, but also there's a whole TV show that comes before this, right? And so I think it's interesting that, you know, they're giving these characters backstories, which is something that I wish if we got multiple seasons. But this is kind of what we get, right? But it's interesting that they're trying to cram so much to a 2-hour movie.
Get the dock! Shepard? Don't move. Won't go far.
Okay, so I've been pretty harsh on this film so far, and that's just because I'm a fan of Firefly. But it hasn't been as bad as I remember. I am enjoying it, but we got to the part where I'm not enjoying it anymore. Something that was special about Firefly is that it never felt like a sci-fi and more of a Western. And I think that's really shown with the Reavers. Even at the beginning, Kaylee said that the Reavers are just kind of people that went crazy at the end of the verse. And now we're giving them a backstory. I get it that eventually, if we were gonna have 7 seasons, that they might have given a backstory to the Reavers, but something about it just doesn't sit right with me. All right, y'all, that's Serenity. Not as bad as I remembered it being, but still not my favorite. Let's go back to my desk and talk about it. All right, let's start off with the good because there's not a lot of it here. I truly believe that Serenity does a really good job with the characters and the tone. Let's just be honest, these actors are amazing and have incredible chemistry together. And when they're all together in Serenity, I just feel like the crew is back, that the family is back together, and they just play their characters so well. And secondly, I truly believe that this film does a good job with the tone of the original Firefly for the first half. That's kind of where it all goes downhill. There's 2 big things that I really do not like about this movie because I believe it truly destroys the credibility, the legacy, and the lore of Firefly. The first one being the Reavers, because if you don't know, they decided to give the Reavers a backstory in this movie for some odd reason. Now I get it, you're trying to fit 7 seasons into 1 movie, but to me, this is the wrong move. Because if you don't know, in the show, we hear about the Reavers, we hear how scary they are, we hear that they're just people that went a little crazy at the end of the verse, but we never see them. We see an aftermath of a Reavers attack, as well as their ship, and maybe even a glance of one, but the never show them. And that's what's so good about the show, is that they built up these creatures that made them terrifying, but didn't have to show them to us. But in Serenity, they decided just to make them zombies and give them a backstory and just go all out about it. And it's something deep down that
really bothers me because I feel like the lore is kind of destroyed for Firefly. When you add backstory to it, it just doesn't make sense, especially for the Ravers too, because you're not supposed to have a backstory for them. They're just crazy individuals. It's something that I honestly really did not like about the film, and that led into more of a decline for it. And secondly, I believe that the first half of this movie does a really good job of tone because Firefly is a Western. It's a Western wrapped up in sci-fi. But then we get to the second half of this movie, and they decided just to make it Star Wars. There's literally a spaceship battle in the film. It just doesn't feel like Firefly anymore. I feel like what's something so special about Firefly is it was never about these big spectacle. It was a smaller story. And I understand you get a bigger budget, you want to do something fantastic and large, and it just kind of took away the legacy of what Firefly was. Now, one of the comments that I got was that they watched Serenity before Firefly, and they like Serenity more, which kind of makes sense. You have this big action movie, and then you go into a TV show that's smaller and has more intimate moments. It's kind of like Percy Jackson, where you see the movie first and you're like, wow, this is great. And then you read the book and realize how bad it is. Now, trust me, I'm not trying to tell people that they should not like Serenity. If you like it, good for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that I rewatched it because it gave me such a fresh set and understanding more why people like it. But at the end of the day, Serenity isn't Firefly. It's just a weird fantasy spin-off of it. And I hope that the sequel can do much better than this.